It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. Throwing in the corner. Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Bang! Missed free throw. Horford the rebound. Here's Pritchard. He loves these. Puts it up half court of the buzzer. Bang!
Tatum. Oh, what a fake. Tatum. You bet.
Just an awesome team win from the Boston Celtics as they continue their momentum from before the break. Hello, everyone, and welcome into your Celtics source, home of your 40-16 second place Boston Celtics. 23 road wins for the Celtics, the best in the NBA, and it's looking like they're going to be that second seed in the East. So, playing on the road, I mean, why not, right? Jrue Holiday was back from his, injury. I think he had like a little hamstring soreness, sat out the last couple of games. He didn't take many shots today, but played decent, right? 2 of 3 from 3, 3 of 6 overall, 8 points in only 20 minutes. So, limited time for him coming off the injury. The Sixers, Joel Embiid, Paul George, they were playing. They had very inconsistent games especially because of the Celtics defense, right? 7 of 14 for Paul George, 3 of 9 from 3. A minus 24 on the night. And then Joel Embiid, 3 of 9, 0 for 2 from 3. So he only took 9 shots. Like, that's not going to do it for a team that's trying to get back into the playoff or at least the, play-in contention here. I think they're 2-9 in their last 11 games, so I think they're on the downhill. They got to start thinking about draft picks and whatever. But anyway, this was a Jayson Tatum, a Payton Pritchard, and a Luke Kornet game. Jayson Tatum, triple-double, his second of the season, and it was not a scoring triple-double. He only had, I believe, 15 points, but it's what he did with his playmaking, his rebounding. The Luke Kornet, Jayson Tatum connection was fantastic tonight. Luke would set the screen, Tatum would roll, he'd find Luke, or sometimes he'd find Luke, and Luke would just dive right to the basket. Sometimes Tatum would go around the screen and sort of, feed Luke for a monster one-handed jam. And it almost looks like Luke was traveling because he was moving at such a high speed towards the basket that he only would take like 2 steps and then throw it down with one hand. It was a highlight night for Luke Kornet. And, he was doing it on the defensive end as well. I think he had 2 blocks tonight, but some great contests on Joel Embiid and some on, the Sixers bench centers in Yabusele and Drummond. So, Luke Kornet, I think, even though Horford did have a solid game today, I believe he did 3 of 5, 11 points for Horford. I think Luke Kornet has finally won Joe Mazzulla's trust as maybe maybe tied with Horford for that second option on the team. And I know, it's based on matchups in games where, Luke Kornet might be run off the floor and they'll attack him. It might be hard to, play him in those games. And there are some of those. But, they don't seem to be in the Eastern Conference. I think, they match up well against the Cavs with Luke on the floor, double big sometimes. They match up well with the Knicks. And those are really the only 2 teams I'm worried about right now. I'm not really worried about any of them, to be honest. But, those are the teams that we'll probably match up against in the second or third round. But, I want to give a shout-out to, not Luke Kornet's really, his his decision making, right? There were some plays where, the play sort of got messed up, and the Celtics didn't have a great option to go to sort of restart and get back into the play. And Luke Kornet with some awesome decisions, finding Hauser and Pritchard in the corners for some open shots that really were a broken up play otherwise. All right, Payton Pritchard. I think he's fully back into his sixth man of the year really hunt. He had a rough stretch in January and February, like the rest of the team, right? I think he was a key contributor to that, slump. But, he's found his rhythm. 8 for 15 on the night. 28 points, 4 assists. He didn't get any rebounds tonight, which is kind of interesting. But, there were so many plays where, like I said before, the play was broken up and, they were trying to get the ball to Hauser or Kornet, and Pritchard just flies around his screen, gets his defender off of him, and just opens up for just a three that is really a heartbreaker breaker for the other team, because, you've done such a good job to stop the initial attack, and then the Celtics just hurt you with any little mistake that you make. So, Payton Pritchard, what do you get? I think he's leading the league right now in plus-minus points. He might be leading in some other stats as well. I'm not quite sure. But, he's back to the 15 points a night. Payton Pritchard, sixth man of the year that we saw to start the season. And then, Jaylen Brown. I wouldn't say he had an off night. He did have a poor shooting night from 3, only 2 of 6, 7 of 13 overall, so not a great night from him. But, he did get 6 assists, 6 rebounds. He did have a couple of turnovers in that third quarter. He was just a little careless with the ball and trying to do it a little bit too much of it by himself, and he sort of got stripped. Last year was a perfect year for him in terms of turnovers, and it feels like he's gone back to the ways a little bit that he was before. And I'm certain that, he's gonna get out of this stretch. He's gonna find his rhythm. If we remember last year, he went from like a 21 points per night guy to a 26 point per night guy after the All-Star break. And obviously he carried that into the playoffs where he won Eastern Conference Finals MVP and Finals MVP. So, I think Jaylen Brown's play is going to pick up. And with Tatum, continuing to be really the driver of the team, if he can get Brown going as well, and, if the both of them are going, this team is unstoppable, right? And I don't think they're going to catch the Cavs, but I do think that the Cavs I don't think the Cavs are a problem. I think it's a couple teams in the West, but they match up well against the Cavs. We do play them to end February. I think a week from Sunday we play them, so that'll be a fun game. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up. The Celtics have a couple days off. They play the Knicks on Sunday. It's a day game at 1 p.m. I'll be doing a live reaction to the game afterwards. So stay tuned for that. And please like and subscribe, follow on social media. And until next time, go Celtics.
Folks, this looks like it's going to be a layup. Watch Derek White sprint and tell Jimmy Butler, not happening here. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.